You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Oh, wait, no, that's something different. Thanks, everybody. Hi. Is that Poot? Did I do it right?
You know what, buddy? You nailed it. I'm so proud of you.
Hey, everybody. It's the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast. I don't know how to do an intro because I tried to do an outro and now I taste pennies. Thanks for joining us. We're going to do Wrestle Talks, and it's not going to be about Vince McMahon, or maybe it will. I have no idea what these mooks are going to say. I barely know what I'm going to say most of the time. I'm Ransom. Hello. The better the better pieces of the pie of this podcast are here with me as well. That would be Poot the Bard. He does the outros, and therefore I don't have to taste pennies. Tiger Bomb Tom, he streams on Among Us on Tuesday nights, so I don't have to, take my little white pills to not lose my marbles. And Beef the Legend, he has all the gold draped around him because he is your Cruiserweight champion. Yes, he is. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face. The fact of the matter is, you're wrong. He is your Cruiserweight champion. I got nothing. Go ahead.
Well, the last episode we talked about a lot of guff going on with WWE. What do you say we talk about some stuff with AEW, because seeing highlights and everything from it, this past episode of Dynamite was a banger, and most notably the great Adam Cole making his return, baby. Oh, thrilled to a Road Warrior worthy pop. That was the loudest pop I've heard in a long time.
That boom was insane.
Oh, and the Adam Cole, baby, it was nuts. It was so great to see, like, that kind of pop, that kind of go, and that kind of involvement at an AEW show. Now, understandably, any fan favorite coming back is going to get a good reaction, but man, that was nuclear.
Oh, absolutely.
To be fair, it was the Kia Forum,
Okay.
which is a basketball arena, which is like a larger arena than what they normally run in. And it's in California, which is the home of the elites, the home base of PWG. So, that crowd was a little bit more amped up than what we normally get. But all of that being said, yes, Adam Cole had a deafening return, and I'm so thankful that he's back just in time to lose to MJF this summer.
Well, it really sounds like Beef was trying to rain on your parade there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I know that, because anytime that I get all excited about something, Beef goes, well...
No, I was just...
to be fair...
Well...
Yeah, no... well, I don't know.
Poot comes trotting into the house, doughy-eyed, big, bright, blue-eyed Poot just comes trotting in. Look at the pretty flowers that I picked for you. And here comes Big Brother Beef just walking through the room. Those aren't flowers. These are flowers. And he just takes them and eats them and vomits back into Poot's hands and goes, look, give those to Mom.
No, so...
And poor Poot is left there with his little frown, just so pretty.
You hear the...
He trots off into the backyard to punch birds.
I cannot believe how unappreciated I am in my time. I'm trying to offer insight and expertise, and you guys are making it feel like I'm going to take I'm out of here.
All right, that's fine. All right, anyways.
I don't even know him better, man.
Poot, no. So Poot, to your point, because this is the one thing I'm sure people take the reins on the AEW talk because he watches it. Obviously, I can't because I don't have the capability to. So, but the one thing I did, yeah, well, boo yourself too. Well, I'm just saying. I didn't know if that, you know what? I apologize. I didn't know if that was an angry boo at me or boo in sympathy for me. Which was
Shut the hell up, Tom. You're very mean and you hurt my feelings.
Make a point.
I'm getting there. I'm not finished. No, the one thing I did watch Adam Cole's return speech / promo, and I love how in the first half that it wasn't him being a heel, wasn't him being a face, it was just him being human and connecting with everybody. And
Sounds
the way
like something a synth would say.
and the way that he he said, well, it's a good news, bad news situation. And then by the end of it, it kind of went into full promo mode when he's like, the bad news isn't about me. It's for the entire locker room that I'm back, et cetera, et cetera. But the biggest thing, the fact that regardless if you want to call it a promo or him just out there talking, shooting shit, whatever, he made you sympathize and he made you connect, and he did the one thing that I always say is one of the most important things, got you emotionally invested. He made you care about what's been going on. Like, he tells you about how he was waking up in the middle of the night, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, just full anxiety, heartbeat going 150, 60 beats a minute or whatever, not being able to ride in the car for more than 15 minutes at a time without having to throw up. Yeah, like that shit. Like, if anybody's ever experienced that, even if, okay, I've never personally experienced any anxiety to that level, but I still felt something. I was emotionally invested. To anybody that's actually had that happen to them, where they've woken up in the middle of the night in a fucking panic sweat, heart racing. And I'm not talking about, oh, you had a bad dream and, you fucking woke up and you're like ready to fight somebody, because that's happened to me. But I'm talking about just waking up instantaneously and just not having any idea, any reason why you're feeling this overwhelming ball of anxiety and this fucking, your heart's about to beat out of your chest. He connected with them on such a deeper level. And if they weren't a fan of his before, damn well better believe that they are going to be now.
Don't tell me how to
feel.
Well,
and the other thing is too, like you said, making that connection to what they said. It's that you don't get a reaction like that if you don't already have that connection.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He had that connection. It's just now he's kind of reciprocating it, which is really nice to see.
He's taking it to the next level.
But beyond that, I mean, like the show itself was a banger. I'm going to hand the reins over to Beef on this one.
Oh, so
all right. I'll go ahead and take those reins, and I'm going to go ahead and talk. Oh, sorry, Beef. Go ahead.
So now you want my expertise, huh?
Well,
I
don't.
I was a big fan of the Adam Cole thing. I think it was heartfelt and
Sexy.
everybody read the room well. I just know how this is gonna go for Adam Cole, because right now they have MJF as their champion, and they can't not have him run roughshod the next 8 months, and Adam Cole is very clearly the most over person in the company at this moment.
More than MJF?
More than Moxley?
Absolutely. To answer both of those things. Absolutely.
Now, wait, let me preface that question with going forward as well, and not just like last night on his return. He's not going to fizzle?
I don't think so. I mean, Adam Cole doesn't fizzle, man. The only reason he fizzled earlier is because they booked him in 2 straight losses to Hangman.
Which was a little erroneous.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, they thought that Hangman was their guy. I get it. I get it. But I mean, I don't see a path right now that doesn't lead to MJF versus Adam Cole at All Out. At the latest, it could be MJF versus Adam Cole at Double or Nothing. He is so over right now. He is probably the top babyface in the company. I just maybe he'll be.
They're not going to take the belt off of MJF and give it to Cole.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we're stuck with another Hangman situation where Cole is mega hot and just ends up taking a couple of losses, and that's that for a while, and then maybe he'll find a group that get in with, and I don't know, man. Mox is gonna be off TV for a while. I think he's finally gonna get his vacation.
What is? I was gonna say, is he just taking time off, kind of like FTR is, to like heal up and?
Well, he was supposed to be on vacation after All Out, and then All Out
and then
happened.
Brawl Out happened.
So
Yeah.
they basically said, "Hey, John, we need you to put the company on your shoulders for another 6 months," and he's like, "Whatever, man." So like this was due to him fucking 6 months ago. He took a hangman lariat. What are they called? The
Buckshot lariat.
Buckshot
buckshot.
lariat.
Thank you. And
The hangman lariat, whatever. I like that better.
He took it, and they had an injury angle, and they did a big thing with him, and I'm like, okay, this is probably it for a while, and that's fine, But yeah, I mean, like, what else do they have? I mean, yeah, they got Hangman, but we haven't quite seen Hangman versus MJF quite enough, I don't think. I mean, but like, who else? Wardlow, I guess, is a stretch, but I think it's far too early to see Wardlow versus Max. They don't have.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel at least with the Adam Cole thing, like, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna necessarily throw him to MJF right away. Or if they do, it'll be one of those things where like he loses, but he loses like under shifty circumstances, and it's gonna be a build for him. There's money in the chase, and I mean, I don't disagree with your earlier assessment that you could have a MJF versus Adam Cole match by Double or Nothing or All Out. If it's at All Out, then I think you have a better shot of Adam Cole actually taking that title off of MJF. But if it's any earlier, no way. I agree. It'll be way too soon to take the title off of MJF.
I'd like to see Adam Cole with that All Atlantic title.
There you go. There's that.
Honestly, like it kind of feels like a joke with Orange Cassidy.
I was about to ask who the champ was. I
don't value Orange Cassidy. Not that he hasn't had some bangers with it. He's had some great defenses. He's brought in.
He can work, man. He can work.
Absolutely, and like I said, he's had some great defenses against people who, special, one time only, etc. But I mean, I think that Adam Cole can make that kind of like an intercontinental title, if you will. Think of Brett or Shawn with the Intercontinental title. I think that Adam Cole with that title for the next, 6 to 8 months is believable, gets him bigger and hotter, and then eventually, once they're ready to dethrone Max, Adam Cole could be the guy. Now, the problem is, I think that they're probably looking at the same thing with Wardlow. They want, I think they're focused on Wardlow being their future too. And then you got the curious case of Bryan Danielson, the best wrestler in the world. How does how does that guy not have your belt? These are all questions that I think that we're having issues with because there's only one champion and there is so much talent. I'm gonna fucking advocate for a splitting of the roster. I think that they absolutely should have a second show, and I think that they
something that's not just
have...
Rampage.
Right, exactly, like a
full-fledged
roster.
Big Daddy show.
Bingo. And like if they want to do it like in place of Rampage and have it be a 2-hour block on Friday nights, that's fine. I don't care. I just think that they need something else, and I'm not talking about Ring of Honor here, because like it or not, Ring of Honor is going to be what NXT is to WWE, which is a stepping stone. Regardless of how Tony Khan wants to paint it, it's not going to be a separate but equal. It's not going to be a Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be an NXT. So I think that they need a second full-fledged show with a second, and they don't need another mid-card title. They can use the TNT title. They can use the All-Atlantic title in the other show. But they do need a second world title and a second set of tag team titles because right now the cup runneth over.
So what would their second world title be? Like, would they elevate one of the existing titles already?
No, I think
it would be a completely brand new.
Yeah, I do because, like I said, I think that they can easily take the TNT title on one show and the the Atlantic title on the other show. Same with the women's title. You have the AW women's title, and then you have the TBS title. I think that Jade has done really well with the TBS title, and you even go as far as to not introduce another set of tag team titles. Take the trios titles and add it on the other show. Boom, there you go. I feel like there's a lot, like Miro. He's been on the bench for how long? Darby Allin shows up every so often. Sting pops in only when needed. Jay Lethal's wasting away in a tag team with Jeff Jarrett. Fucking Keith Lee and Swerve, like they did it, and it almost seems like it's like every other week. Like 1 week you see this group of talent, the next week you see this group of talent, and like if you're a big enough deal, like the Elite, like Jericho, like Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, like I think that you're going to transcend that, and I think you're going to be on 2 weeks in a row. But like for the most part, it seems like it's kind of like 1 week on, 1 week off, and I don't know that format is the best, in my opinion. But
that's tough because like a lot like that kind of stuff, like there's so many ways to go about that. Like I don't know.
And I know that wrestling fans hate split rosters. And I know that that the original brand split didn't leave a good taste in a lot of people's mouth, but I think it can be done well. And honestly, I feel like we're kind of that point in WWE again now, where there's only one world title, but there are so many people who deserve to be world champion. The clock is running on a lot of these guys. So you gotta start pulling some triggers, but you don't want to hurt Roman Reigns, and it's kind of a mess.
I didn't have a problem with the first brand split. Like it was, and refresh my memory. The first brand split is when they really alienated the rosters.
Yeah, they kind of made SmackDown the true B show.
But like that aside, like the rosters were truly split. Raw guys were strictly Raw, SmackDown were strictly SmackDown, and they even had their own like Raw specific and SmackDown specific pay-per-views. Was that the first brand split?
Yes.
Yep.
I was okay with that.
As I recall, that didn't last too long. In our minds, we think it lasted a long time, but it didn't.
I was fine with that. And
yeah, man, me too.
I think that would be a blessing for AEW to have a brand split and only have a very, very select few be able to bounce back and forth between both shows. Because how many times have we referenced AEW and their bloated roster?
Yep.
Yeah.
And with people who have a lot of talent not being utilized at all or being underutilized, a brand split would be the best possible thing that they can do. Because like Beef said, having like person A on person A week, person B on person B week, person A on person C week, like it's hard to follow some storylines sometimes. It's hard to keep some things like, well, who were you feuding with again? What happened with you the last time you were on TV? And it can lead to that fizzle effect where like, oh, I haven't seen this guy in 2 weeks. I'm getting kind of cold on him. Like,
well, here's something that I remember from speaking of the brand splits, like playing the SmackDown versus Raw games and stuff. Like whenever you would go to your own like general manager thing, and even if you didn't have two wrestlers wrestling a match against each other, you could do a promo or something like that. So even if somebody isn't getting a whole bunch of TV time 1 week, to make sure that people still remember the feud or whatever, so it doesn't fizzle out, you can have a short little 1 minute vignette, something, whatever, just to kind of remind people like, hey, this is going on. I'll give WWE credit. That's something that they're always have always been very, very good at is like their vignette video packages. And even though a lot of times it takes up more time than what I'd like, whenever I would catch the Raws and stuff like that, they keep you updated. They remind you like what's been going on. Like, okay, this match is happening. Well, hey, let's take a look back at what happened last week and the week before, why this is leading to this confrontation tonight. You know, it's so there's ways to go about it. You just gotta make sure, you know, allot enough time. And yes, I know there's only so much TV time, but you know, maybe instead of having this instead of having like a 25-minute car crash match, between whoever and whoever, maybe make it like a 20-minute match, and then you have that extra 5 minutes to devote to keeping some of these storylines alive with short, little concise vignettes, something, whatever, a little backstage confrontation. I don't know, anything.
Just as long as it's not wrestlers standing facing the camera, looking 90 degrees over their shoulder and a monitor about, with the action happening in the ring. Like, enough of that. Stop it.
My favorite thing on Botchamania is seeing the wrestlers watching TVs at an angle. That's wonderful.
Yep. Like the one of Bret Hart. Like, his head is at a complete 90 degree. Like, his body is facing the camera taking the shot, and his head is just completely sideways, looking like the monitor, and nobody stands like that. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And it's also worth mentioning that Mercedes Moné did not show up on AEW last night.
I mean, did you think she was going to, with all the stuff that we talked about? I mean, like,
I kind of did.
But dude, I mean, I didn't anticipate her doing this. Like, who was it? Was it Meltzer said, or someone said that, like, it's like, let her go to New Japan, let her get this out of her system, she'll be back to WWE before you know it.
Yeah, but that was before Vince came back. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, but
she's not a fan of Vince, right?
No.
Yeah, she won't be back
because of the fact that she felt I don't know if her and Naomi, or more so her, but they felt like, we got these women's tag titles, and basically you're not doing shit with us, and this is fucking stupid.
Oh yeah,
and which she's not wrong. I mean, but historically, unfortunately for her,
better ways to handle it.
Well, no. I was gonna say, unfortunately for her, besides with Triple H trying to make a little bits of pushes here and there, WWE historically has not been huge on tag team wrestling in general. Like, Vince himself is not been a huge tag team wrestler, and that's coming from the mouth of others in the profession that were tag team wrestlers. So
true.
So she didn't show up,
right?
And Soraya
and
Tony Storm lost.
And Beast Wrestling Boner went, pew!
No, because I feel like with them announcing Tony Storm last week, I feel like that was them saying, hey, lower your expectations. I still kind of expected it. But I'm the only thought process I have is maybe, things were up in the air for a while, and now that Vince is back, maybe they won't be so much up in the air. I'm sure that she's asking an astronomical asking price, but honestly, like, there were no other matches booked for NJPW Battle in the Valley, California, coming up here, I think, next month, except for her and Kyrie. And after her appearance at Wrestle Kingdom and her announcing that she was facing Kyrie at Battle in the Valley, like, they sold out. Well, no other matches have been announced on the card. They sold out.
I know they've sold out, and like, obviously that speaks for itself, but like, I've been looking, and maybe it's just like the stuff that I see on my various social media things. How is this generally being received? How is she being generally received? Because it seems like there's and pretty much everything is memed nowadays, but like, how is it being received outside of that? Because I see a lot of people being like, kind of like, oh, okay, this is a thing, I suppose. And that's not me trying to get a rise out of you. That's like me genuinely asking.
And like there are a lot of people that are like, oh man, CM Punk sucks and he's past his prime. But guess what? When CM Punk's on AWTV, those fucking numbers fly past the millions. Like fact. Like when CM Punk's on pay-per-view, those fucking buy rates jump up. Fact. Like people can say all they want about what they think and what they, how overrated he is and this, that, and the other thing. But at the end of the day, like selling out an event with one match announced to it, it tells me a lot that I need to know. Yes, absolutely, Pooh. You're 100% right. She has her detractors because of how she handled her WWE exit. And like everything on the internet and Facebook, social media in general, like you see the negative way more than you see the positive. But I again, I'll say it. I have not heard a louder debut at Wrestle Kingdom, a louder pop, period, in several years. Even the return of Kenny Omega, I think, was dwarfed by the pop that Mercedes Moné got at New Japan. And again, that's not a culture that cheers a lot. So, I think it's good. I honestly think that her asking price was pretty steep. Tony Khan was probably on the fence and wanted to see how things kind of played out. I think that she may have had sights on going back to WWE with Triple H in charge, but now that's all in the fucking wind. It wouldn't shock me to see her at Revolution.
Oh.
I think that they probably double down, and who knows? Like they're absolutely Tony Khan may not have had any contact with her before January 1st, because they did go after WWE for tampering with their talent. How would it look if he was on the phone with somebody who worked for WWE before their contract?
Hold on, wait. I just came back into this. Who they go after for tampering with who?
AEW went after WWE for tampering with somebody. I don't think names were named, but like WWE was like inquiring with. I think FTR was one of them. About
this
a bunch
was a while ago though.
A few months.
Really?
I'd say maybe October. Yeah, October or so.
I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, that's how I was like really piqued my interest there.
Do you remember how fucking crazy 2022 was in the wrestling world?
Good
and
point.
Now 2023 is starting out. Like, what would normally be a noteworthy topic on this show is dwarfed because something fucking insane happens just before we hit the air, and we're like, well, fuck, we gotta talk about this.
Good point. Fair point.
But yeah, that was so. It would not shock me, especially now with the way that WWE is kind of headed, if Mercedes and AEW come to some sort of an agreement. I could be wrong. I could be wrong because Tony Khan might starting to be start trying to tighten the purse strings. But again, they're making pretty good money too. So whatever.
Yeah. I have a serious question for you, Beef, but I want to get Putin Ransom's take on it before yours.
Fair enough.
All right.
Is it because you know that I'll talk a lot?
Yes. So saying that you think Mercedes will reach an agreement with AEW, obviously she's somebody who would be pretty high profile and they'd want to put her in the spotlight. Probably, put her in some sort of title program. Although, granted, I thought they were going to do the same thing with Ruby Soho, but injuries and booking aside, whatever. So we still have a undefeated Jade Cargill. My question to Poot and to Ransom is, if they brought in Mercedes, would she be the one to dethrone Jade and end that undefeated streak? Or if not Mercedes, and even if they do bring her in and you don't think it's her, who do you think is going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill?
Okay, mine's pretty short and
Pass.
sweet. I think it makes.
Well, damn it, Poot just muted, so
Well-
that doesn't fucking help.
Whoops! I'm
Okay.
sorry. I had it backwards. I'm sorry about that, dudes. It was still on the recording, so you're the dumb ones. Anyway, mine's pretty short. My answer's pretty short and sweet. I really think it makes sense if she does come to an agreement with AEW. It makes sense because it's a heavily established name. It's someone who's incredibly popular and incredibly believable that she would beat Jade Cargill. That's the most important key thing, is that it's believable. Now, we've talked about Jade Cargill being green, no pun intended, but like it's the fact that it would be believable. It would bring a lot of eyes on the product, and it would be a good conclusion and a good way to kind of send Jade Cargill off into the ether of, okay, now you're kind of brought back down to earth. What else can we do with you? You know what I mean? Like, let's not have this be just the thing. But if not her, honestly, I maybe I'm biased here. I think Britt Baker would be a reasonable one. I think I don't really know otherwise, but I really think those would be my two. I would say yes. I think it's incredibly believable, and I think it would be honestly a good thing, giving all the credit in the world to Mercedes Moné. And I also think that it would be Britt Baker. That's my answer.
Ransom?
I don't know if they would, because I think everybody would be expecting them to. Like, if she debuts, I think everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, they're gonna get after the title. Oh, she's gonna be the champ. Oh, dude, look at all the color fucking hair." They historically haven't really been big on that either. You know, Bryan Danielson came in, Adam Cole came in. They didn't immediately get thrust into the big title picture. I don't know. I think that's what everyone will expect. So I don't know if they do or not. I have no idea who takes it. I don't know. I don't have a good firm grasp on the AEW women's division just because I don't keep up with the weeklies, and that's a shame on me. But I don't have anybody in mind that would be the one to take it. I would hope that it would be somebody new, not new as in new to the company, new as in new to the belt. Because I think whoever does beat Jade Cargill, they could use that win to elevate this person. I don't think I have no problem with Britt Baker. I don't think she needs elevated though. Like, I think she's more than proven, like, she's champ material. So I don't necessarily think she needs it. I would like to see it go to somebody who needs it.
I'm with you on that. I don't necessarily see it being Britt, only for the fact that I no offense to Jade or anybody else, but I feel like Britt is above the TBS title. I feel like that Britt is somebody who absolutely is, AEW women's title contender worthy, and you keep her in that main event picture. She's one of your she's one of your pillars of the AEW foundation and the women's division, obviously. If they brought in Mercedes, I could see her going either way. I could see her being put kind of in that AEW women's title arena. I could see her being put in the TBS title. As far as who I think would or should take it off of Jade, I still feel like Ruby Soho should get another rub. I'm really surprised that they didn't have Athena take it, but they could have her double belt because they had Samoa Joe do it with the Ring of Honor TV title and the TNT title there for a hot minute. So, I mean, that's not completely out of the question. But like you, Ransom, I would hope they would be somebody new. So I would pull for a Ruby Soho, or I think she's still recovering from injury right now. I'd like to see a Chris Statlander get a shot.
God, Tom, I hate you so much.
I love you too, Beef. See,
You know,
What does
but-
Beef
but
think about it?
This is why this is only going last because you guys took my point between you and Ransom. Absolutely fucking not. Mercedes should not come in and beat Jade Cargill. Absolutely fucking not. They can feud after Jade loses that belt. Jade is basically Goldberg here, but with talent.
easy.
With talent, and
Good job.
she not a lot. She's working.
But she's
Oh.
gotten a lot. She's gotten a lot better. She has gotten. You can see progress in her work over the however long she has been there in the company and as champion. You can see progress,
Absolutely.
and she does the work. She can put on more than a fucking 5 minute, a 5 minute match.
Absolutely. So yeah. Mercedes, no fucking chance. I don't even want to see her come in and win the women's title. I think that there's a feud for Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker brewing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like, as far as who though, Tom, you're on the money. It's absolutely Chris Statlander. That's exactly where they were headed before she got injured again. So I think that this just gives Jade more of a chance to continue to pad her resume and become better and hone her craft, and then have Chris Statlander, because Chris Statlander, when she wins, the arena's gonna fucking erupt. It's been a long time coming, so absolutely it's gonna be Chris Statlander. But again, that doesn't mean that Mercedes doesn't show up. And I mean, honestly, maybe Jade Cargill beats Mercedes. I think that would be a smart money move, honestly. But hook or by crook, the baddie section might get involved. But I actually could see that coming down the pike, but just not for that belt. And while I think that Mercedes will, if she signs with AEW, she will have the title before too long. And honestly, I think that she's probably going to have the IWGP Women's title here after facing Kyrie. But like I think that she will have an AEW title before too long. I just don't think it's going to be beating Jade, because that needs to be a special moment. Now, the other thing to kind of talk about from last night was the match 7.
Oh yeah.
Of the best of 7 series, which was incredible. The Elite won, and like everybody's up in their fucking feelings about it. Oh, but they're EVPs. You know what? They're also fucking best wrestlers in the world. Take 3 steps back and appreciate it. So rather than the Elite like coming back and taking the titles immediately, which they absolutely could have done.
Oh yeah.
They instead have a fucking barn burner best of 7 series with the Death Triangle. Gave the Death Triangle a nice little run. Had an incredible ladder match last night. And yeah, Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. In case you forgot, go watch Wrestle Kingdom. Go watch Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Dude, just seeing like a little like minute and a half like highlight reel of their match. My God,
if you have,
they're artists.
If you have
artists
an extra,
at that point.
Goosebumps.
They are artists.
Absolutely. If you have an extra 45 minutes or so, seek it out, find it. It's worth your time. But yeah, in case you forgot, fucking Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world, and the Young Bucks, they're a pretty great tag team. So yeah, like I get it. I understand, but they're EVPs. Absolutely, that could be a conflict of interest. But
isn't that
also
nepotism?
It could be.
That's a callback.
But also they're the best in the world. So, and in my fever dream that I'm living, and I mean that we're all living in professional wrestling, there's a real chance that when FTR, because FTR is off TV, according to Dax, for a couple months to kind of get their heads right, to heal up, they absolutely sound like they're committed to AEW. So, again, 2023 is going to be a wild one. Strap in. Like, if there's a chance that we could see CM Punk and FTR versus the Bucks and the Elite, or the Bucks and Omega for those trios titles, sign me the fuck up yesterday.
So with that, like saying this, and obviously Beef, sitting there very excellently saying, again, saying, remember, these guys are, in fact, some of the best wrestlers in the world. They truly are. They are masters of their craft. And like you said, citing Osprey, Omega, like unreal. Absolutely, like 100% unreal. But like, man, people just fucking got so mad about that. And they're like, what would you like? They put over Death Triangle, there would still be people somehow bashing them. It's a rock and a hard place for them, and they are over. Like, they're over. Like, people get it. Would I have loved to see Death Triangle come out on top? Yeah, but then not saying what then, not for Death Triangle, but like they beat the Elite. Who beats them then? You know what I mean? Who beats them? Now the Elite have it then. The money's in the chase, especially for these new belts. For all these, and it also gives you a chance to develop new groups. It lends itself to more creativity because you have the top of the mountain holding the belts going, bring it. And you get to see things develop versus, because it's not like, I don't think getting knocked off the mountain and chasing back up for the Elite is a believable story. Like, honestly, I just don't. I'm sorry. I know that might sound small-minded and like, Poop, what the fuck are you talking about? But it's true.
Now, in this case, I kind of do have to wonder. You brought up a good question, like what's next? Not necessarily just because of if in the flip scenario of Death Triangle winning, but now that the Elite have those titles back, now what? Like, who's next then? And like with the Elite. Are they kind of? No, God. Why do you make me want to drink my face off?
You said who's next. Don't. You did this to yourself.
No. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do it. No.
Did it? People who are naysaying the Elite winning these belts are not asking one very important question. And that question is, if these guys were not EVPs, would they still be on top? You would have to answer yes to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like said,
even if they weren't doing the trios thing, each one of them is at the top of their game in their divisions.
I would answer abso-fucking-lutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
So, Kenny Omega, best wrestler in the world. Young Bucks, probably best tag team that's out there, or one of like top 2, top 3.
Definitely.
So even if they weren't EVPs, they would still be the trios champions. So anybody that's boo-hooing and belly hissing about, well, the only reason they're because they're EVPs. No, that's untrue, because they're the best, and the best get the belts. That's just the way it is.
Facts. Speaking of the best, we definitely need to do a Stump the Chumps here. But I'm
the tag team champions.
I'm shocked.
I have a very important question, though.
No.
Yes.
Go on.
2 episodes ago, we were left on a giant cliffhanger. What is to become of the decision from the Orton Michaels debacle and Ryuk's question? What happened?
That's the past, and we don't live in the past. We live in the present.
Easy, Mike Tomlin. We don't live in our failures.
I don't understand that reference because I don't understand football.
It's not about understanding football. It's about understanding the fucking shit that Mike Tomlin fucking says.
He's football, and I don't understand it.
I just see Ransom like yelling at the crowd like, I don't understand football.
I don't understand this foosball.
I'm the football champions.
I'm the what period is it? Is it the what?
So I will quote a message from Ryuk from me to him and I. He said, I said, hope you enjoyed the cliffhanger and that we've talked about it. He said, I did, and I don't want to go on the show till I actually stump you guys.
Wow. What
There
an
you go.
upstanding citizen.
The man does not want a pity win because he knows at best this would be a push. So, in that line, I think that we are going to declare a tie.
Just
In
the
my mind.
finish.
A dusty finish, if you will. And yeah, unfortunately, Ryuk did not stump us. Almost so close.
Give him one.
Now, here is the question. We have one from Ryuk, one from Pat. I think the one from Pat might be pretty quick. I'm not sure. We can see what happens.
Which one's the oldest?
Pat.
Let's do Pat's
So,
then.
yes.
All right.
See how
Also,
it goes.
Godsmack, I understand that email is very tough. I understand that, buddy.
What's this
Just
move
like-
done now?
just like trying to load up your PlayStation and load up Twitch. I understand that these things are difficult.
What's he done?
European
man.
servers. European.
My
God.
man, the email address is pittsburghpiledriverpodcast@gmail.com. 2 emails. One with the question, one with the answer. Put some spaces in the answer one so I don't see your preview. It's real fucking easy. He told me last Tuesday night that he had one for us. He told me that he had a great one and that he was sending it over.
Fucking lies.
TikTok, motherfucker. All right, so Pat's question:
Disqualified.
Who was
Bret Hart.
the? All right, next question. Who was the first AWA heavyweight champion? Who was the last AWA heavyweight champion? Not implying that they are both the same.
But they could be.
AWA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. AWA.
Uh-huh.
Well, I know the last one.
Okay.
I know the last
Do tell.
one. AWA.
Uh-huh.
That's Larry Zbyszko.
Oh!
Okay.
I know that one. I don't know the first one, but I am 95% certain it is Larry Zbyszko.
Now, let me kind of throw something out here. AWA, I think, was the one that they would show on ESPN, on ESPN Classic and stuff. And some of their later episodes, if I'm correct, I may not be, but I think that AWA's later episodes featured Scott Hall, a young Scott Hall with a permanent mustache, but a Scott Hall nonetheless. Now, are you saying that Larry Zbyszko was active into the late 80s?
Dude,
Champion?
Well, dude, Zbyszko wrestled into the 90s, didn't he?
Okay, I believe you.
Oh, he absolutely did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because listen, I remember whenever I started first watching WCW, when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was at WCW, and I was completely enamored. I remember seeing Larry Zbyszko and who the fuck's this dad wrestling? I don't.
Who's this
living
fucking
legend.
dad?
The man who I patterned Ryan Kilmore, at least his moniker, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. What a cool fucking moniker!
Yeah,
I'll believe
dude.
you, Poot. I'll believe.
I am, like I said, I am 95% certain.
So AWA was like a cup of coffee, right? They weren't around for any long spans.
Fuck you, Pat.
They
AWA. You fucking...
Fuck you, Pat, he says.
What a prick.
Maybe the 70s is when they started?
No, I feel like they started earlier. They started in the 60s or so, I think. Well, no, you might be right. 60s
Who
or
was
70s.
the first ever heavyweight champion of Botswana Wrestling Federation?
Because-
Fuck you.
Well, all right.
That would be
there's
Ungundankung.
Okay. There's a
Fucking
little
nailed
bit
it.
of, there's a little bit of merit here. I'll bail them out a little bit because
up.
AWA was a chief competitor to NWA. And then, obviously WWF became a thing, and that was kind of like it for the little guys.
Vince McMahon became the eater of worlds.
Yep. So, but that's what I'm saying. I think AWA, because for the longest time it was NWA and WWF and all the little satellites out there. But I think that AWA spawned up maybe in the 70s to compete with NWA. I'm not 100% on that. I couldn't even tell you what AWA stands for.
American Wrestling Alliance.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my mind goes that it started in the 70s.
Because that's where Hogan came from. He was part of the AWA, and then that's where McMahon snagged him up.
Is it possible that Hogan was the first AWA champion?
No,
not a chance.
No, God,
okay.
no. No, Hogan. No, because Hogan.
That would have been early '80s, right?
Yeah,
maybe
Hogan. Yeah,
70s.
Hogan. Because Hogan was an AWA champ before he came into WWE.
I mean,
WWF.
Think of the big old names like Vern Gagne,
right? Or Bruno or Billy Graham,
Pat O'Connor.
Shut up!
What?
No, that's a real name.
Yeah.
You fucking.
What? These are guys
nothing.
that what?
Nothing.
No, you either Ransom can't believe the names or he can't believe that you just gave him the answer.
Right. That's kind of what that felt like. I'll be honest. When you said Pat O'Connor, it felt like Ransom pulled the one-armed bandit, the fucking slots, and it just came up on fucking, all bananas or whatever.
It touched his giggle button apparently. Regardless,
I don't want to talk about it.
What?
Go on.
What would be the irony though? Pat sending the question, it being Pat O'Connor.
I don't want to talk about it.
What is happening right now?
Keep going.
I almost pull the thread. I almost, because it feels like Ransom might have something.
Fucking yank the thread. I want to see what's going on.
No.
Yeah. Do it.
No.
Why?
Pass.
Okay. All right. No. I trust the man.
Well, one of those two names.
I think Vern Gagne might be the most believable.
If you guys fuck it up and start to derail the train, I'll swoop in.
Okay.
No. It's no. I mean, Vern's up there, but for some reason, I don't know. For some reason, every fiber of my being wants to scream that fucking Pat would try to get his big fucking win on us. Because it's Pat O'Connor.
I don't. I don't
listen.
know, man.
I would not put it past the Maniac. I would not put it past him.
My foot. Oh.
But
Ransom, do you have any kind of beat on this at all?
I got a rock in my shoe.
That's not.
Like Dwayne Johnson?
Okay.
Wow.
He's making terrible movies in my shoe.
Oh no, San Andreas in your foot.
He's ruining the DC universe of my foot.
Listen, I liked Black Adam. I thought it was good.
Well, Ransom is terrified beyond the capacity of rational thought. I don't know enough old AWA. I just remember watching it sometimes late at night on ESPN Classic.
I mean, Poot's absolutely right with
Billy Graham. I want to say Billy Graham was a big deal there.
Ooh, Superstar Billy Graham might be a good call. But
That's what I'm saying.
Didn't he rise to prominence in more into the mid late 80s? No, he was.
Oh my no!
He was before that. He was well before that.
I think he started in the 60s and he hit the main event scene in the 70s, and by the time he got to the WWF in the 80s, he was kind of past his prime. That's why Hogan and Jesse Ventura stole his shtick.
No, wait, hold on. Wait. I don't think Superstar Billy Graham was I don't think he was prominently AWA. I think he was prominently NWA, was he not?
I'm the NWA
think
Tag Team
so.
Champions.
I don't think so, man. I think Billy Graham was AWA, and that's because that's where Hogan like got his shtick. He saw a superstar Billy Graham wrestling, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna steal this shit."
Well,
What a thief!
and nah, I think you're wrong on that. I think he was more NWA.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
I'm the NWA.
I could swear Billy Graham was a big deal in AWA, but again, I'm not willing to like say, definitively AWA. Come on,
I fucking love when Ransom goes
Thank
off the
you.
deep end and just starts throwing out non sequiturs.
This is like Poots. This is like Poots' golden age of fucking wrestling in the 1920s question.
Oh yeah, I fucking remember that. The Gold Dust Trio, baby.
Oh god.
Yeah.
No, AWA was more like Poot said, like Pat O'Connor, Vern Gagne, Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh, Bockwinkel.
All right, I want to get on to Ryuk's question. Pat O'Connor, final answer. Read the answer.
I don't. Are you saying that just because you're in a rush, or
no?
He's saying Pat O'Connor's the first and Zbyszko's the last.
Ransom, do you actually believe that that's that's accurate?
If this is right, I'll explain myself. If it's wrong, I'll excuse myself.
Okay. I mean, I'm here for it. If we're willing to say Pat O'Connor and fucking Larry Zbyszko, I'm here for it.
Zbyszko, I'm there for. The other one, I'm not sure about.
You know what? Listen, I trust Poot and I trust Ransom.
The sound that Ransom made when you read that name, when you said that name, was like the I've got it.
Yeah, I gotta trust in that.
Well, then we roll with Ransom.
Pat O'Connor and Larry Zbyszko.
You know what? Ransom's done this way too often for me to go against him. Here we go. Good job on King of the Ring last time. Went way outside the box for some. Thank you. First champion. Oh my God, we did it. Pat O'Connor, 1960. Larry Zbyszko, 1990.
There you go.
I said Zbyszko into the 90s.
You sure did. You sure did.
Well, Zbyszko was at WCW into the 90s, but yes. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yep. That's amazing. Pooch just like walks over and puts the fucking baseball on a tee, and Ransom's like, I'll take that. Yep. And fucking out of the park it goes.
I want to know,
Ransom, what
tickled your giggle button?
So, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'm in the car driving out to Calcutta, Ohio. Where we are currently building a Chipotle. And I have to go out there to take pictures of progress of the building, meet with the GC superintendent.
Supply extra guac.
And I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. I listen to Among Us playbacks. Well, I just so happen to be listening to who's that stupid Vince McMahon guy?
Oh,
Bruce does the
Pritchard.
podcast. Yes,
Bruce Pritchard, yeah.
Bruce Pritchard, and they were doing a show on Ric Flair, and I thought, you know what? I don't want to listen about Ric Flair, but I couldn't find anything else as I was scrolling and driving. Sue me. And don't they start talking about like early Ric Flair stuff, like in the 80s or whatever? I don't know if that's early Ric Flair, because Ric Flair was born in like, what, 1690?
Yeah.
But they played a promo that Ric Flair gave before he wrestled freaking Pat O'Connor in the NWA. And Ric Flair made reference to Pat O'Connor being a big deal because he was the first AWA champion, and that doesn't really mean anything to Ric Flair because Flair's just going to run right over him because it's not the AWA, it's the NWA, and that's what matters, and blah, blah, blah. And like, this was all like background noise to me until Pooh was like, well, maybe it was Vern Gagne. Oh, maybe it was fucking Peterbilt trucks, or maybe it was stringing on the guitar, or maybe it was fucking
Peterbilt trucks.
Like, son of a bitch, you just said it. And that made me think about that stupid podcast I listened to. Like, oh, it freaking, according to Ric Flair in the promo that he gave, that's what he said. So that's what I'm basing this off of.
That's amazing.
And your
You know what,
new AWA champion, Peterbilt trucks.
But you know what? The funny thing is, though, Vern Gagne was the next one because Pat O'Connor was given 90 days to defend it, and he didn't, so he was stripped of it, and Vern Gagne was awarded the championship
Oh, fuck.
after Pat O'Connor failed to defend the title. Yep.
Which it was Vern Gagne's promotion. And by the way, Tom, we were both right. Billy Graham started in NWA, was a key piece in AWA before moving to WWF.
So basically
okay.
what we're saying here, Pat, is get fucked.
Pat, man, you just have the worst timing. That's Pat's problem. Is that he just
Right place, wrong time.
Yep.
He conjures up these great questions, and Ransom just so happened to listen to a podcast about this weird, off the fucking wall topic 2 weeks ago, and boom, it's in his wheelhouse. Pat, my man, that was a heater. That was 102 mile an hour fastball, and it is going, gone. Pat, you lose, and you get nothing.
I am the baseball champions. The fucking
One more off the wall stupid question from Pat or Dave or God help me Ryuk. Somebody asked some sort of off the wall question about like, oh, back in 1842, what was the WWF event that they had in the middle of a dusty square in London where all the carriages had around it? It was a horse on a carriage match. I will sign off this podcast. These three can go ahead and freaking talk about it because I'm not going to do this again. Stop it. Stop it. No more of deep dives into the black and white history of wrestling. Like, nah.
The vaudevillains.
If I want to watch black and white TV, I'll watch I Love Lucy or I Dream of Jeannie. Don't you stop it.
I still dream of
What, no?
Jeannie.
No Bewitched?
Oh,
I mean,
Bewitched.
whatever. Pick an old
man.
TV show that was in black and white. It wasn't wrestling. Stop it.
All right, so
Three
do we want to
Stooges.
do Ryuk then?
Hell
You
yeah.
might as
dude.
well because I'm already sweaty.
Okay.
Yup.
Fucking
In
Pat.
the time of
don't.
He's so pissed.
What? Be careful with your words, Thief.
Oh my god.
and we're composing.
I'm getting sweaty, man. Don't.
In the
fuck around.
time of the 24/7 title,
Okay.
how many
God.
times did R-Truth win that title?
Oh, like 900?
He won it a bunch.
18 or 20, I think.
I was thinking it might be north of 30.
I think it might even be north
Or-
of 50.
Fucking truth.
No,
I-
I don't.
no,
I
no,
don't.
it's- No. It's between 20 and 30 because we talked about it. We talked about it the one time when we said something about when in one of our other either hot tag trivia questions or Stump the Chumps, we were talking about it and we said, well, technically, R-Truth has more title reigns than Ric Flair does or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
But that was also whenever we were like, whenever it was still active and being a sticky, stupid fucking thing.
Yeah. But for a while there, Truth didn't have it. For a while, fucking Dana Brooke had it. For a while,
Yeah, but Truth always got it back, though.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm just saying.
The number 34 sits in my head.
Dude, I think it's way more than that in the lifespan of that fucking travesty of a belt. I think I'm going to go with 52.
Jesus God.
I think that's way too much.
I'm going to shoot 52.
I remember them talking about this whenever hell, who won it? Was it Rhea? No, who was it that won it and threw it in the trash? Oh,
Nikki.
it was Nikki. Yeah, Nikki
Yeah,
Cross.
Nikki did.
I remember them talking about
Good for her.
and again, the 30 something comes to mind, and I don't know why 34 is in there. I don't remember it being 50 because I don't know, man. Like that's a big number. That's a big number. And I could be
Won
right.
that belt
Could be wrong.
multiple times every other week.
Yeah.
Like that belt was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he won it like 14 times in one night.
Well, hell, fucking, I think Nikki won it like 10 times herself or something at least. So, because she
Yeah.
had a lot of those title reigns when she was Nikki ASH.
Almost a superhero, right?
Yeah.
What a horrific idea that stupid belt was.
Yeah, God, dude, I like I said, I think it was like 52, 53, like around there. I really do, because I think that you're forgetting the numerous times on the fucking TV show where it would be like someone would take it from Truth, someone would take it from that person, Truth would get it, someone would take it from Truth would get it back, someone would take it. So those were all reigns, and sometimes it changed. They went back to him like 3 times in the course of a show.
I don't think Truth like lost it, won it, lost it, won it. I think that maybe he may have lost it and then won it back by the end of the evening.
By the way, the echo that was happening on Beef just there, I had my mic muted.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but it wasn't muted on the podcast.
I can't explain it.
You know what? Beef says 34 for some reason, but I'm gonna reverse that. And I don't know. I'm going with Poot. I'm going with Poot on this. Fuck it.
You think it's in the 50s? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely could be wrong, but
like
I just
like it's like I said, it's like 52, 53, like around there. So I really think it's that, because I think the 34 number, I think that's when they were making a big stink out of it. I think that's when they were making like a thing. It's like, oh, like, you know, making a meme or a goof out of it. I think that's why it's sticking in your head.
I'm talking about a graphic issue that they showed on the weekly product. After like the title was gone.
See, here's the thing though, like the majority of people that won that fucking god awful fucking prom night dumpster baby fucking abortion of a title.
Family Guy.
Yeah. Oh, so now we're citing references. Got it. Thanks.
You are a angry little man.
I just like giving it right back to you. But my point before you derailed me was
make a point for once.
Is the majority of people didn't hold that title for longer than a day. There was only a small handful of people of all the people that held that. So I think Poot's right in the fact that there was a lot of like Truth getting it multiple times in one night, back and forth. So I'm more inclined to go with him. I mean, and fucking Pat O'Connor. Need I say more? I don't know. Just
what do you think, Ransom? It sounded like we're kind of following line with what Poot was saying there.
I have no dog in this fight. I have no idea. I tried to block that ridiculous title out of my brain. I honestly I don't know. It could be 30 something. It could be 50 something. Hell, it could be 70 something. With as much as that title bounced around and as little of a poo that I gave about it, I have no inclination of what the right answer is.
Well, and I mean, you know, if it's 2-1 against me, I will not fight back.
Fuck it. You know what? Go big or go home. You say 52, 53. I say 53.
So are we on?
Then we'll go big. Then say 53 because my gut reaction was 52. But if you want to go big, let's go 53.
I got an itchy ear.
So we don't.
Is that pertinent? No. All right.
I mean, if we're gonna go
Curses.
with if we're gonna go with Poot and Poot's guts, I don't think we should round up. If Poot's gut told him 52, I'm on board with 2.
I vote 53.
Then I'll go.
I'll
All
go-
right, 52.
I'm still with 53, so we got a split house here.
Ha ha! Yes.
Nah, man,
ransom.
we got 3-1.
I vote
No.
53.
He said 53.
Damn it.
I say 53. Yeah. Fucking learn how math works, Beef. God damn it.
I'm gonna leave
Come
it up
on,
to you
sweeten the
then.
deal.
I'm gonna leave it
Come
up
on,
to you
let's
guys.
go. Schmooze
I'm-
me down to 52. Let's go.
Here's
50,
what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. While Tom does have knowledge, and I'll absolutely give him that, Poot's gut feelings have led us to the promised land in the past. And I feel like if we don't, when we haven't followed Poot's gut feelings, we've been wrong. And
Well, you haven't
like
followed my gut feelings.
Poot says, I have a gut feeling about 52, and Tom's like, fuck it, let's go 53. Let's go. Like,
No.
Tom,
His original words were, I have a gut feeling like 52, 53.
It was. I said north of 50. To be fair.
He did. I don't know.
make a decision.
I'm going with
It's-
7.
I'm going with 53.
It's your call on this one.
Oh.
I still think it's 34, but again, am not going to fight fate. So if you guys want to say 53, absolutely, I'm on board 53.
My final guess is 53.
I said I'll leave it
Ransom?
up to you guys.
Ransom?
13.
Because it's the reverse +1 of your feeling of 34 for some reason or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, 34, one more, 35. Flip it.
34, one more.
34 plus one more, reverse that around. Yeah, that sounds good. 53.
I don't know. I was just being a jackass. I have no
No,
idea.
I seriously
nothing.
think Poot was on the right track.
All right.
But I think Poot was on the right track. But I would venture to say 53. That's my feeling.
All right. I'm going to say 53 then. And that's going to be the end of it. Ryuk
Wait, I want to change my answer.
says, again, I wanted to thank you for allowing us
Ignored.
to send questions and interact with the P3. No matter how bad my days are, I enjoy listening to your show. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, buddy.
We appreciate your viewership, Ryuk, and keep sending in the questions. We really enjoy it.
Ugh.
Okay. So this is, damn it, Ryuk, another dusty finish. R-Truth leads the chart with the most reigns. He has won the 24/7 title. In bold, it says 54 times. In parentheses, it says 53 as recognized by WWE.
Well, there you go.
You have
53.
to go with WWE.
What? How's these?
Yeah, I'm curious as to where this 54th reign came from.
Where the hell is he pulling his information from?
He said the last week's was from Sportster. This one looks like it came directly from the WWE website. Let me just Google it real quick.
You know what? Hang on.
You know,
Let's just fucking. Do people not know like how fucking Wikipedia works? I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Tom, because I just looked on Wikipedia and it
53.
says 53. It says 53. His 52nd reign is not recognized by WWE.
All right. Well, there you go.
It says 53 in parentheses. It says 54, but it says
Yeah.
So,
WWE does not recognize his
there we go.
52nd reign.
I'm glad that you guys are smarter than me, and I'm glad that Tom pushed for 53 because I almost botched it.
So here you go. Over the championship's 3-year history, there were 202 officially recognized reigns between 57 different people.
Stop
There are
it.
3 reigns that are not recognized on the official title history on WWE.com. R-Truth had the most reigns at 53 and the longest combined reign at 425 days.
That's crazy.
Reggie had the longest singular reign at 112 days.
Yeah.
Only 14 other people had a reign last longer than a day. Huh. Well, you want to hear this fucking cast of character names? Here you go: Angel Garza, Akira Tozawa, Bad Bunny, Carmella, and Dana Brooke. Drake Maverick, Drew Gulak, Elias, Maria Kanellis, Mojo Rawley, Riddick Moss, Rob Gronkowski, Shelton Benjamin, and both Singh brothers.
Somebody beat Gronk for it on an ESPN show, and I don't remember. Like
Yeah.
an ESPN
Yeah.
commentator, and then I think Truth beat the ESPN commentator.
he was like there and he snuck in and took it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Here you go. Hang on a second. Raw announcer Mike Rome, NFL player. Wait, where is it? Non-wrestle. No. I don't know.
But yeah, so I mean, there was some fun with it. It wasn't, you know, it was
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie, Peter Rosenberg.
Oh my God, Peter
Doug
Rosenberg.
Wait,
Flutie.
hold on. Yeah, hold on. Non-wrestlers that held the title include Fox sportscaster Rob Stone, NBA player Enes Kanter, electronic music producer / disc jockey Marshmello. I remember that. WWE senior account manager Michael Giasio, I don't know. NASCAR Cup Series driver Cal Busch. Raw announcer
Cal?
Well, hold on. Raw announcer Mike Rome, NFL player Rob Gronkowski, radio personality and WWE pay-per-view pre-show and panelist Peter Rosenberg, former NFL, CFL, and USFL player Doug Flutie, Puerto Rican reggaeton rap and trap singer Bad Bunny, infamous WWE gimmick The Gobbledygooker.
Oh, the Gooker did.
Hold on.
Did win one.
WWE commentators Corey Graves and Byron Saxton, and WWE referees Daphne LaShawn, Sean Bennett, and Eddie Orengo.
Santa Claus also held it.
Did he?
Yep, Santa Claus and Rob Stone.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Rob Stone
What
was
a
the one that
goofy
beat Gronk
fucking
for it.
belt.
It was. It wasn't without its charm. It's just that I think the gimmick was. It happened too often. I think if they dialed it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think if they dialed it back about 25%, I think
they have Mayor Glenn Jacobs listed, not Kane. Mayor
Jacobs.
Looking
Like,
good,
I think-
Mr. Mayor.
I think they would have dialed it back about 25%. I think it would have been okay.
I think if they
But,
dialed up the actual hardcore rules and violence about 75%, it would have fucking been better
Yeah,
too.
well,
but-
Either way.
Well, and that was
Either way.
kind of the impetus of the damn thing. It was supposed to be the second coming of the hardcore belt.
But then it looked like a fucking, literally a giant Waffle House waffle on a fucking green leather strap, and it was just.
Well, and that was the thing. The
terrible.
problems with that belt started when Mick Foley pulled the damn thing out of a bag. Like,
Yeah, the
Ooh.
yeah, you when you're and like we talk about AEW and like, you know, obviously they have the TBS, the TV, and the TNT championship, but like this was like the first time that a network was like, hey, let's get a belt on there, like that a network was pulling the strings, and so like they leaned into making it goofy just for goofy's sake.
Do you
And
remember
like I said,
You remember who the inaugural 24/7 champion was?
I don't.
Titus O'Neil.
Makes sense.
Here you go. Here's your statistics for the 24/7 championship. My God, first champion Titus O'Neil, final champion Nikki Cross, most reigns R-Truth 53 reigns, longest reign Reggie 112 days, like we said, shortest reign Tucker 1 reign 4 seconds, oldest champion Pat Patterson, youngest champion Bad Bunny. Yeah, buddy.
Well, there you go.
Heaviest champion, the Revival, a combined weight of 446 pounds. Lightest champion, Alexa Bliss. I can't believe they actually put a weight number to a women's wrestler, because you never hear weights announced for female wrestlers, but whatever. I'm not going to out her weight.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So, Ryuk, you also had a very good question that had me stumped, but never count out Poot the Bard's his gumption, and his sixth sense about these things.
I am good at goofy bullshit. I'm good at goofy bullshit.
Well, thanks to our goofy bullshit expert, we win again. So Ryuk, sorry, buddy, you tried, but you're gonna have to wait at least one more week to stump these chumps, because you lose and you get nothing.
Man, I hate Vince McMahon.
Pooderino.
Yeah.
What time is it?
Oh, it's burrito time, baby, and I got some Taco Bell Diablo sauce sitting right here for ya.
Oh, good.
It's gonna be spicy. Thank you all very much for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
And that's where the episode ends.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We still got a burrito coming. Your butthole's not done yet. As as Soldier Boy said, it looks like that poop shoot's taking a beating. You should fucking watch The Boys. It's super good. No, that poop shoot's seen better days, is what he said. All right. Thank you all very much for listening to the P3 podcast. Poop shoot talk aside, we want to thank you seriously for listening. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us up there, youtube.com/Pittsburgh Pile Driver Podcast. And you can also find it now wherever your awesome podcasts are found. Yes, that's right. I'm back on an upload schedule, fuckers. Depression can't take me down, but it can skip some fucking episodes. And also, Anchor, you got your shit together, by the way, because it is not doing janky bullshit like it used to. So I'm super happy. By the way, Anchor.fm, really good website now for it to work the way that it does. I'm glad that it does. Good way to disseminate your podcast. We're on 7 different platforms, boys, so you can find us anywhere that you get your quality podcast. We also want to thank our lovely sponsors. Start with Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with wrestling in the central Pennsylvania area, and Pennsylvania and the greater at-large area as well, the Commonwealth, as they like to call it. So thank you, Sean, for your work, and make sure you check out IWC if you're in the Pennsylvania area. A lot of fun. Also, Imagine Wrestling as well. They're doing some really cool stuff. Watch your local indies, folks. That's where you see the stars of the future. We also want to thank our very own casual gaming self, Mr. Tiger.
Up your butt.
Bomb Tom.
I had to bring. It's a callback. Come on.
Yeah, you're up. Going. Oh boy, it is a callback. We want to thank him and his channel, Casual Gaming Dad, over on Facebook. Join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. You can find him on YouTube as well. It's Casual Gaming Dad, and on Twitch, Casual Gaming Dad 84.
Yes.
I got it right. Okay, make sure you check him out. And you know what also? Why don't I just go and throw it out there? I started streaming on Twitch, fuckers. Go to twitch.tv/PootTheBard. So you can find me over there. I'm doing just variety stuff, and also I game with my buddies. And Tom was gracious enough to let me co-stream Tuesday Night Among Us, and I really appreciate that, buddy.
We're gonna keep that going moving forward too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my damnedest to make that happen. So it's a lot of fun. And streaming, I like streaming. It's fun. So yeah, check that out too. We also want to thank Frigoff Ransom, our very own madman. He's a lovely boy, and he'll make you laugh very heartily, as you could clearly see from our podcast. What'd you say?
Fake news.
No, not fake news. Very sweet boy, very funny boy. And check him out there. Also, Beef, you posted a little something on the YouTube channel here yourself. What'd you throw out there?
I posted Rewatch, Review, and Rewrite. I am doing a series, hopefully, of Rumble rewatches as well as WrestleMania rewatches leading up to WrestleMania, where I'm going to be talking about what I watched, talk about how I felt about it, and talk about how it could have been perfect.
Awesome.
I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it short form. I'm gonna try to keep it under 10 minutes every week, so that it's just a real quick and you're in.
Oh yeah, just like that poop
like
shoot.
My love life.
Oh well, hey. Yeah, check that. It's a cool thing. And also, I've talked to a couple people. I'm going to be doing some interviews with wrestling fans, kind of like, bringing it down to earth, talking to the salt of the earth fans. No, I'm not going to be interviewing MJF yet. I want to have him on and have him just yell and scream at me and call me a shithead, like you guys do. It'll feel like home. Anyway, thanks for listening to the P3 Podcast. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, Bebe, for Mr. Tiger. Give me another one, Tom.
Uppercut.
Bomb Tom. For the Madman, Ransom. And Ransom, I'm going to let you do it. Tell us who else.
Oh, sorry, I was peeing. What are we doing?
Give Beef
Beef the Legend. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Yes, Ransom.